Do you play fish? Do you want to catch huge mythics, legendaries, and event fish like this big isonade? Then you want the King's Rod. Firstly, I want to mention an OP starting rod that I recommend called the Steady Rod. This costs 7k shekels and can be found on Roslet Island next to the blacksmith near the docks here, and it should be right here. The Steady Rod is an OP starting rod that is going to help you catch those huge mythic, legendaries, and event fish. By itself, it's so good that an enchantment that boosts the minigame of catching fish is not needed. Though if you're simply having trouble with the game and still struggling, Controlled is an enchantment that increases the size of the box in catching in minigames. When pairing Controlled with Steady Rod's Resilience, which Resilience helps the minigame bar not jump back and forth too much, it's essentially an endgame rod at that point, aside from it having 35% luck, which is not terrible, but it's just not amazing. When you do enchant though, I recommend going for a luck boosted one like Divine, which gives a 40% luck boost, or Sea King, which increases the weight of each fish caught by 10%, or Swift, which reduces the lure time by 30%, but to be honest, you don't even notice the decreased lure speed when your resilience is very high. To enchant your rod, you'll first need a relic, and you can get this from fishing or buying it from Merlin in this house here. You have to be at least level 30 and it costs 11k shekels. This is on top of Sunstone Island. This is the photo of the enchantment list. By the way, you cannot stack enchantments. If you enchant an already enchanted rod, you will lose your first enchantment. Also, if you notice, there are cursed enchantments that downgrade your rod. I recommend having at least 2 relics when you do go to enchant, and this is on Statue of Sovereignty here. And this is because you have to pay 400 shekels each time you use the elevator to get down to the altar to enchant. Also, if you're struggling to find ingredients to get to the witch during the event, you should come to an empty server. It's very easy to get them. The endgame rods, excluding the executive rod, which is a developer only rod. Unfortunately, this is an unattainable rod that you cannot get in the game at the moment, so if you heard about this, then sorry. Let's start with the King's Rod. Pause. This can be found below the Statue of Sovereignty in the Keeper's Altar for 120k shekels, and it's right here to the right of the elevator. The King's Rod automatically increases the size of each fish by 10 or 15%. It's essentially just an upgraded Steady Rod, with every stat category being better overall, better luck, control, resilience, and no fish limit. This is going to especially help you when catching those big colossal squids, or the Nessie, which averages above 2,000 kilograms for the Fright Fish Halloween event. As it is similar to the Steady Rod, enchanting the King's Rod with a luck boost enchantment like Divine will make it the most overpowered endgame rod, I feel like. Also, I think I forgot to mention that King's Rod already boosts the fish's weight by 10 to 15%, so if you pair it with the Sea King enchantment, you boost it to 20 to 25%. While I'm here, I can show you guys how to enchant. Say I want to enchant my Nocturnal Rod, I take out my equipment bag and make sure it's equipped so I can see it on my number 1 slot, and then I take out my relic on the altar, and I just hold E. And then I just press yes. Now let's talk about the Mythical Rod. The Mythical Rod is very similar to the Destiny Rod and can only be found on the Traveling Merchant for 110k shekels. Sometimes he doesn't have it, but this time he did, and it's right here. If the Traveling Merchant does not have the Mythical Rod, you'll have to wait for him to re-roll his items when he respawns. The confusing thing about the Mythical Rod is that it increases the chance to catch not mythical rarity fish like Colossal Squid, Isonades, or Glacier Fish, but instead it increases the chance to catch mythical mutated fish, which are the rainbow ones, by 20 or 30% like this one. See how it's mythical salmon? It's a mythical mutated one. Though the mythical mutation increases the price of the fish by 4.5 times the regular amount, so catching these fish will help you get a lot of money, especially when you have a 20 and 30% chance of catching these fish every time you fish with a Mythical Rod. However, the resilience control and weight limit on this rod are the biggest issues, so if you're gonna buy this, then I recommend getting the Resilience Enchantment. This will definitely help you catch bigger fish. Now to talk about the Destiny Rod, we need to go to the Ark here, which is between the Statue of Sovereignty and the Musgrove Swamp. To get the Destiny Rod, you'll have to talk to the NPC Kalia here, and she'll ask for your bestiary. You'll need to have at least 70%. The Destiny Rod costs 190k shekels, and if we look back to the photo, we can see that it has a huge 250% luck boost, which helps your chances of running into mythics, legendaries, and event fish. However, similar to the Mythical Rod, the Destiny Rod also has downgrades of 0 control, 0 resilience, and only 2,000 kilograms of weight limit. This means that I would also recommend using a Resilience Enchantment, especially with the boosted chance of getting Mythics and Legendary rarity fish, considering the high luck boost of the Destiny Rod. In conclusion, I feel like the King's Rod is the best at catching all fish when it is enchanted with any of the luck enchantments like Divine, which is generally the best one overall. Given that the Divine enchantment gives a 45% luck boost to any rod, if you enchant the King's Rod with Divine, it will bring the luck boost to 100%. While the Destiny Rod is the best at catching not all, but most fish, because of the rod's 2,000 kilogram weight limit, even when enchanted with the Resilience, which is a must. There's the Mythical Rod, which is the best at catching fish for money due to its mythical mutation boost. When enchanted with either luck or resilience, depending on how well you are at the minigame, but most people want to catch huge mythics, legendaries, and event fish, so resilience is going to be your best choice. All in all, the game's essentially still in beta, so there will for sure be a lot more updates which add rods, islands, and new fish, and especially big fish, which is why I really care about the weight limit of the rod. And with that being said, I believe that the King's Rod is the best endgame rod at the moment, especially with the new updates sure to come. Also, I thought I'd mention if you're struggling with lag, hit escape, go to settings, turn up your frame rate to 120 and turn down your graphics. I like to have it at 3 because you can still have a good photo. Also, go to menu at the top here and turn off flags. Speaking of lag, the boat's having terrible turning speed, acceleration, and brakes is due to the server being up for so long and how many people are in it. So if you get an empty server, you should be fine. I mean, look how easy it is to catch this thing. No, I was gonna perfect catch it. Oh well. Jeez. Took up my whole screen. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys.